Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in to another edition of Keene on Sports. It's a bit of a sorrow morning. For me and Fernando. Obviously Fernando's Mexico went home. My Portugal went home. Fernando, how are you feeling this morning? How you feeling?
Feeling much better. I think it will hit me badly on yesterday, but I'm feeling a little better. How about you?
It's still hitting me badly right now. I still need the rest of the day. I need the full 24 hours to recover, to digest. But listen, we're gonna get into that. We'll talk Portugal's elimination. We'll talk about the World Cup quarterfinals. Almost every matchup is set up. We're waiting on one more. We'll talk about that today. Argentina versus Egypt. We will talk about that matchup. Does Egypt have any chance? Do they have any chance? Then we'll talk about the hosts in the tournament falling short. But first, it's only right. It's only right if we start talking about Portugal. And Fernando, I sat there during that game and I had no words. I had no words because Spain was on the attack. Spain had chances. Spain looked like the better team. Portugal had their opportunities. They had their opportunities. They had the one off the crossbar with the Nuno Mendes shot. But otherwise, Bernardo Silva had that header at the end that Rodri absolutely clowned him for missing, which was actually hilarious. Former teammates. And other than that, there was really nothing going on for Portugal. And I have to say this. I have to say this. Portugal, out of the entire tournament, you are the most disappointing side. There is nobody more disappointing than you. There is nobody. And it's as simple as that. Nobody in this tournament has been more disappointing than Portugal. And it's not because Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 years old, because no one's expecting him to go out there and score 10 goals and lead you to a trophy. It's just not realistic. It's disappointing because third place in Ballon d'Or, Vitinha, created very few chances. He turned the ball over. He passed it backwards. Bruno Fernandes, you broke the record for Premier League assists in a season. What do? You have one assist in 5 games. One assist in 5 games. How many chances created? Less than five in 5 games. Passing the ball backwards. Not passing the ball on runs that clearly Ronaldo's making, you're not hitting him. And I have the video clips. I'm watching the clips. I see it. João Neves, what are you doing? What are you again passing the ball backwards? The wingers. Pedro Neto, playing with your foot on the outside, not getting the ball in the box. Rafael Leao, again, not doing enough. Yeah, they had their moments, but it wasn't enough consistently. Defensively, that goal that you gave up against Spain, he literally, I think it was Mourinho. He's sitting right wide open in the back line, but there's no one there. Literally, no one. All they had to do was put the ball there, and he had to turn and shoot. That's one of the softest goals I've seen this entire tournament. It didn't take any magic. It took nothing. Portugal side let him down. Look, Cristiano Ronaldo was as a fan. Does it hurt me to see him at this age playing at this level, knowing that he's not the prime Ronaldo that we miss 100%? But did he do enough for his team? Yes. Were there opportunities where he could have been assisted? Yes. Did they play the ball to the spots where he needed to get it? No. There's several times in the game where he's using his energy to make a run. And I'm telling you, if I could pull up the clips on this, I would. He's wide open on one side of the field, and Vitinha doesn't play the ball. And then Bruno Fernandes plays the ball backwards, then apologizes to him for not playing the ball up. There's a reason that Portugal continually falls short. There's a reason. And there's a reason that they've never won the World Cup. There's a reason that small countries don't win the World Cup. And the reason is it's hard. It's hard for these small nations to do it. They have smaller talent pools. And even now, you want to say this is Portugal's best generation. Did they look like a good soccer team out there? I promise you, I watched every other game and they look more attacking than Portugal. And that's not because their striker was doing all the running. It was because everyone else around them in the midfield was playing good balls. They were moving the ball up the field quickly. They were playing quickly. It was tiki taka. It wasn't 5 seconds with the ball and then pass. 5 seconds with the ball and then pass. I'm extremely disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed. And it hurts to see them go out this way. And you talk about their draw with Croatia and Spain. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's very difficult for a team to win 5 good games in the knockouts with 5 great teams. It's just the truth. And if you're talking about in general, Portugal probably had the hardest path. If you're talking about Croatia, Spain, Belgium, France, and then whoever you get in the final, who can win 5 of those games in a row? It's very difficult. Very difficult. Fernando, help me reason here. What did you take away from that performance yesterday? And Portugal was a very big letdown, and I got to know, like, what did you take away?
I agree with you, George. I mean, of all the teams that have been are eliminating the World Cup. Portugal is by far the most disappointing. I mean, you had the best midfield in the entire World Cup, and they didn't do anything, absolutely anything. And
Horrible.
yes, horrible, absolutely horrible. And I mean, the blame can go to everybody, but that blame has to go to Roberto Martinez. Absolutely horrible coaching, absolutely horrible coaching throughout this horrible tournament. So selfish on thinking about the individual, which is Ronaldo, than the team. I mean, it was clear that it wasn't working with Ronaldo. Absolutely clear, and you didn't take him out. Gonzalo Ramos, why aren't you putting him in against Spain? The guy scored the game-winning goal against Croatia, and the guy didn't see a single minute. I understand that you may have been thinking about extra time, saving him for extra time, but you can't depend on extra time. You just can't. You have to go for the game, even if it's 0-0, going with 6 minutes left in before we go to extra time. You have to be thinking about the game. You have to be thinking about going to win the game the entire time. And Roberto Martinez did not do that. He was being too passive. I mean, and then now this is the second golden generation that he's wasted. I mean, he wasted Belgium's golden generation. Now he's wasted Portugal's golden generation. And that's why he quit, because he was so scared of having the guts to face all the questions of why he kept Ronaldo in, why he didn't put Ramos in, why the midfield looked bad. Like, all the blame goes to Roberto Martinez because he made very, very questionable coaching decisions. I honestly think that he thought about more about the individual, which is Ronaldo, than the team, because it was obvious in the Croatia game that they looked better without Ronaldo than they did with him. And it's just for me, Ronaldo, yes, they look worse, but it was clear that Portugal looked better without him than with him. And all the blame goes to Roberto Martinez for not thinking about the team for not thinking about the team.
Look. I'm not going to sit here and say they look better without him. They look. Gonzalo Ramos was really good, and in my opinion, he should have come in that game, especially in extra time. If they had gone to extra time, I would have put Gonzalo Ramos in the game, 100%, 100%. I'm not even doubting that. In terms of in saying Portugal looked better without him, the reason they looked better that last game without him was because they put in a midfielder and they put in instead of replacing him with a striker. That's why, right? They needed someone in the midfield. That's why Portugal started playing the well again. They were fine before that, but after he made the 4 subs, he didn't even care about position. He put in 4 attacking guys, and that's why he needed to take a striker off. So that's my thing. But again, you're right, Roberto Martinez. Just because you have 3 world-class midfielders doesn't mean they all have to play at the same time. Because I think what I noticed was there wasn't enough real estate for each of them. Okay, Vitinha is carrying the ball the whole game. What is John Neves doing? What is Bruno Fernandes doing? Right? You have to change the formation and even go to 2 strikers and take out a midfielder. Why do you need 3 midfielders all doing the same job? How about you put in Gonzalo Ramos, who's capable? Who's capable? I'm not saying he's a world-class striker, but he's very capable. And next to Ronaldo, and take out Jean Neves and put Vitinha and Bruno Fernandes together, and then put in Jean Neves in the second half. Like, why not try something like that? Because we didn't see a good version of Portugal the whole tournament. I'm not even kidding. I watch every game. I watch almost every game this tournament. And if I'm comparing just attacking tactics and awareness and speed of moving the ball and pace, Portugal look like one of the worst. They look like one of the worst. And it's not because of one player. It's because the entire midfield, the entire back line, the entire front line, it was all about passing the ball backwards and keeping possession. There was no attack. There was no attack, and it took moments of brilliance for them to score. It took moments of brilliance for them to score, and it wasn't enough, especially against a team like Spain. And look, they were with them the whole game, 0-0, right? Maybe they don't concede that goal at the end, and they go to penalties, they win that game. But you have to create more chances, more consistently, because that just isn't good enough. And Roberto Martinez, look, and they said this, I forget what is it Javier Hernandez? Is he the all-time
Yes,
scorer for Mexico?
yeah,
Anyways,
Javier Hernandez.
he said something great. He said something great 2 games ago, I think, before Portugal played Colombia. He said, Ronaldo is not the reason you're losing. Ronaldo is not the reason that you can't win. When Ronaldo's on the field, it's your job as a manager to make him a solution and not a problem. It's your job to make him a solution. How do you put a formation around him that you can win with? Because again, Ronaldo, when he gets the ball in the right spot, scores goals. And you can say this about every great player. Haaland is a perfect example. Haaland this tournament is getting the ball in great spots and he puts it in the back of the net because he's a great goal scorer. but you have to put the ball in spots where he can do something with it. He isn't going to dribble around 1,500 guys. He's not Mbappe. He's not. It's just the truth. Maybe earlier in his career he would do it, but not now. It's just not going to happen. Look at Argentina. This is what they figured out, right? They didn't win with Messi before. They figured out, how do we put a formation around him? How do we make the system work for Messi? And they made it work. Every time those guys get the ball out wide, they're looking for Messi right in the middle. That's what they're looking for. And it works. Roberto Martinez failed to come up with a system. Ronaldo should be playing. He's better than Gonzalo Ramos right now. It's the truth. Across 90-minute games, he's better. That doesn't mean Gonzalo Ramos shouldn't have played. He should have. But you have to come up with solutions to make Ronaldo work, because you have the greatest goal scorer of all time. I understand he's 41, but he's the greatest goal scorer of all time on your side. And the ball was barely played to him. Was barely played to him. It's disappointing. It's disappointing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like we saw this with Portugal all of last year, and then all of last year, and then going into this tournament. Like, they were trying to figure out a system to build around Ronaldo, and they just couldn't. When are you gonna say to yourself as a manager, "I can't figure it out. I gotta change something," and I think that's the mistake that Roberto Martinez did. I think he was really relying on building a system on Ronaldo, but he couldn't figure it out to the point where it just cost him his job and the elimination of the country. So honestly, like, I just feel like he should have figured out something, or just said, you know what, I'm pulling the plug, I'm changing something. Because you know what? I think Belgium is the best example. Last night, Belgium did not start Lukaku, De Bruyne, didn't start Doku, they didn't start their world-class players. And they went out on the field and absolutely battered the United States. So we're gonna get to that later, but I just feel like that's exactly what Roberto Martinez should have done. He should have said, you know what, this isn't working. I need to make some drastic changes to the team.
But I think the issue with this team was more than that. Just that. Like, number one, I don't believe Portugal wins yesterday with Gonzalo Ramos instead of Ronaldo. That's number one. Number two, there was bigger issues here, and the issues were that they weren't playing good attacking football. It's just the truth. They weren't dynamic in the final third. They yesterday, when they had possession, they turned it over a million times. Nuno Mendes had led the team in chances created, and then got hurt in the 55th minute. He had Lamine Yamal locked down. He gets hurt. You're like, okay. In that moment, you know that Portugal's not going to win the World Cup if Nuno Mendes is not playing. It's the truth. Nuno Mendes is the best left back in the world. If he's not playing, the rest of the
Mhm.
World Cup is not winning. So even if they had won yesterday, I don't believe they would have won the cup, because they need their best players out there. And look, at the end of the day, like, I want to shift this to the Ronaldo aspect of things. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. You talk about a guy who's done everything in the sport. Just listen to it: 5 Ballon d'Ors, 2 best FIFA Men's Player of the Year, 4 European Golden Shoes, 3 UEFA Men's Player of the Year, 5 Champions League titles, 4 with Real Madrid, 1 Man United, 3 Premier League titles, 2 La Liga titles, 2 Serie A titles, 4 FIFA Club World Cups, 4 domestic cups, a Euros, 2 Nations Leagues, leads all of men's international football in goals, all-time top scorer and assist leader in Champions League, all-time top scorer in tournament history in the Euros, only player to win top scorer in England, Spain, and Italy. Like, you're talking about, in my eyes, the greatest ever. Obviously, in my opinion, Messi and Ronaldo are top two. You can have them whatever order you want. I'm going to respect it. I think they're both they're generational. They're legends. They're just masters of the game. And then Ronaldo is the guy that he's the guy who won my heart when I was younger. He made me idolize this game. He's my goal. But again, like, it's heartbreaking to see that final piece of the puzzle fade. I think Ronaldo. No one, and this is how I always tell people, like, winning the World Cup for Portugal would have been the cherry on top. Because as a player growing up in Portugal, the expectation is not to win a World Cup. And he said this perfectly after they lost. I know he's disappointed. He's coping with it. But he's right. Before Ronaldo, Portugal had 0 trophies. Zero. Would never won a single competition, because Portugal has never been a soccer country. But he changed it. He changed that himself. He came up. He won a Euros for them in 2016. He won 2 Nations League titles, which in my opinion is even harder than winning a Copa America at this point. You have all the best countries almost playing in that. You have Spain. It's the truth though, and we can get that later. But if you have France, Spain, Germany, and by the way, beat 2 of those teams en route to winning, like, that's harder than winning a Copa America, in my opinion. The level is better there, and it doesn't matter if it's a new tournament or not. It's harder. But anyways, 3 trophies. He brought them 3 trophies, and he's done essentially everything except that. And look, again, I don't think this hurts his legacy at all, because Portugal is a smaller nation. They've never won the World Cup, and they had nothing. They were nothing before Cristiano Ronaldo. And quite frankly, I don't think they're ever going to win a World Cup in their history, unless somehow, Ronaldo 2.0 comes and he's even better. Maybe Cristiano Jr. has it in his bag. I
Mhm.
don't know. But like, if you're just looking at legacy, if you're looking at legacy, what a legend of the game. And if this is it for him in terms of Portugal, I know he'll play at the club level. So it's sad. It's really it's a sad day. And all those people out there who are hating on this, the reason you feel like you need to hate is because you're insecure that Messi is the greatest because of what Ronaldo has done. Is the truth. And the only reason people bring him down is because what he means to the game and what he's done. You might not like him, but he's undeniable. The records stand. He has won in every league he's gone to. Every league he's gone to, he's won, and he's done it across the world. He came, he conquered, and now his international career might be over. But what a career! What a career! And it's sad. It's sad to know that I'm never gonna get to see him play in a World Cup again. And what a legend of the game! What a legend of the game!
Yeah. I mean, this is my go, but I have to give my flowers to Ronaldo because he was one. He was the best goal scorer in ever to play because whenever he had the ball, he scored the goal. He scored the goal. That's simple as that. When he was in his prime, you gave him the ball, he was gonna score the goal. And I mean, it's sad to see him go. He did everything he could for Portugal. I mean, he brought a small country back in Europe to literally to elite status. And I mean, all credit goes to Ronaldo. 2016 Euros, Nations Leagues. I mean, Portugal would not be on the map in Europe, would not be talked about today as much as they are if it wasn't for
Yep,
Ronaldo. He brought that
hundred
country
percent.
to the map, and you have to give him a lot
Yep.
of credit. It's sad to see him go. We'll see how Portugal moves on from him. I do think we'll see a better Portugal side without him, but I mean, if it was, I mean, credit goes to Ronaldo. He's the one. He's the reason why Portugal is being talked about as much as it is today.
He inspired. He essentially like if you think about it, and something's crazy. Lamine Yamal, 18 years old. Ronaldo's 41. It's a 23-year age gap in the game yesterday in terms of of them playing. How incredible is that? Right? You're talking about when he was 23, a lot of these kids, a lot of these younger guys on Portugal were just being born. So they're growing up watching him play and he's inspiring these young Portuguese players to want to be great and to play on this team. Right? And now look at where he's leaving this team. Look at where he's leaving them after everything he's done for his country. It's incredible. It's incredible and I just I hope people will learn to respect that. He can coexist with Messi. These are the two greatest players ever, and it's okay to respect one and respect the other. It's the truth. It's the truth. And honestly, quite frankly, if Portugal had it another way, then this tournament could have gone very differently. But the draw they had with Colombia in their group was quite frankly has turned out to be a really good side. Like it was tough. You weren't going to win with this draw, and look, it hurts me to watch Argentina with the draw they're getting in their group. It hurts, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna be jealous because if you put Portugal there, I believe they're doing the same thing, beating Cape Verde and now Egypt. Like that's expected. But look, at the end of the day, like to win a World Cup, everything has to go perfect. It's the truth. To win a World Cup, it's something that has to happen perfectly, right? In terms of your luck in your group, your luck in your draw, the officiating, scoring crazy goals that you thought would never be able to go in that go in, like moments, like in quite frankly, it never lined up for Portugal. It never lined up for Ronaldo, and that's okay. I've accepted it. That's okay. It's disappointing and it's tough, but at the end of the day, like you're talking about a guy who this is just the cherry on top. What a career! What a career! And I hope he plays. I hope he plays in the Euros in 2 years. I hope he plays in the World Cup in 4 years in Portugal. He's not gonna, but I can dream. And it was just to have someone you idolize growing up, and the reason I started playing soccer, it's incredible. It's incredible, and it hurts to see him go. Um, moving on real quick, but change up the order a little bit here. Let's talk about the hosts. Obviously, I want you to talk about a little bit about Mexico, what happened in that game. What a crazy game. Obviously, England, man, the two goals in that short period really put it against Mexico in terms of you're gonna have to come back from down two goals and within a minute, and it's really tough to come back from that. But it wasn't just Mexico. U.S. got blown out by Belgium, who I never thought was really that good, who started a bunch of their bench guys because he thought it would work, and it ended up working. In Canada, same thing, right? I couldn't hang in there with Morocco, got blown out by Morocco. So, Fernando, real quick, I'm gonna let you start with Mexico here. We'll start with that. What were your takeaways from that game? How do you view this team now going forward? And was this a successful tournament?
I actually think it was a successful tournament. I mean, it hurts still today that we
Yeah,
were eliminated just because of the game. The game will unravel. I'll get to that later, but we should. I think Mexico should feel proud. I mean, we didn't. We earned our curse of winning a knockout. We won all three group stage games. We didn't concede a goal until
yeah,
the round 16, And I mean, this team for the first time ever looked like they wanted to win. They were playing for their
Yep.
country, because that's one of the things I think we criticize a lot about the Mexican players. We feel like they don't play for their country. They're individuals who play for themselves. But for the first time, I feel like in all the World Cups I watched, I feel like they were finally playing for their country. They weren't playing for themselves. They were actually eager to go win a World Cup for their country. And I think a
Yep.
big reason for that was because they were playing at home. But yeah, I feel like
Yep.
Mexico should feel very, very proud of the World Cup.
Yep.
And I feel like we have a bright future. Gilberto Mora is only 17 years old. Raul Jimenez is still in his early 30s. Quinones, superstar in the making. I mean, there's a lot of good players in Mexico, and I mean, we heard Javier Aguirre is not coming back, but this was the plan the entire all the time. I mean, it was going to be Aguirre till after the World Cup, and Rafa Marquez would take over. And I think the federation is in good hands with Rafa Marquez, because Rafa Marquez is a young guy. He's going to bring young players, and he's going to develop them. So honestly, think Mexico's future is very, very bright, and we should feel very proud about how the World Cup went for us. But I'll get now onto the game. What a missed opportunity for Mexico. We dominated the entire game. We were the better team. But you know what? We are home. You know why England's in the next round and we are home? Because we made mistakes. We made mistakes. And that's what good teams do. Good teams punish you for those mistakes.
Yep.
First goal, missed opportunity. Raul Jimenez Pickford gets the ball, plays it to Declan Rice. Declan Rice makes the run. So much space. I don't know why anyone on Mexico isn't there to go get the ball. Gets it to Saka, beats to Gallardo, plays the ball into the box, and Bellingham is there. Goal number one. Number two, Mora gives the ball away. England goes on a counter. Kane plays a beautiful ball into Bellingham. In the box, 2-0. Third goal, long ball from Pickford. Bad header from Edson Alvarez. Oh, Anthony Gordon all alone. Roundhill commits the foul penalty, England, and it's already 3-1, too late.
Yep.
And England had 10 men for almost the entire second half, and we only got one goal from it. So honestly, missed opportunity. Mexico did well to fight back, but this was a huge missed opportunity for Mexico. And I
Yep.
was really mad with their game strategy. Like, why are you taking Quinones out in the 82nd minute? He is your best player on the field, and you take him out. I understand you want size, but Quinones is the best player on the field. He's the one who's giving you the chances. He's the one creating everything, and you take him out. That was on a really questionable decision by Javier Aguirre. But I mean, it's very disappointing that Mexico didn't get it done. I mean, also, I don't know why we're
Yeah.
playing crosses into the box so many times. I mean, great chances. Like, that's how you get the goals. You don't get goals just from kicking the ball into the box and just hoping for someone to head it in. You create chances, and that's what Mexico didn't do when they were
Yeah.
up a man. And
Yep.
so, I mean, it's sad, but all credit goes to England. They went to a hostile
For sure.
environment and they got it done.
For sure. Look, yeah, I think England showed more mental toughness than I thought they had. I'll be honest with you. I think, and I just want to give props and flowers to Jude Bellingham. I think he's been incredible. People always talk about how teams are most vulnerable after scoring a goal. Well, you know what? England scored and they came right back 60 seconds later and put it in the goal again, and that changed the game. I think if it was 1-0, and it's different. It's different. But when you go down 2-0, energy shifts, right? And then you start to have doubts. And England, again, to go in there, and I mean, obviously, there was almost a perfect day for England, except for the fact Jordan Henderson broke his arm trying to celebrate. But just what a game from England. A lot of mental toughness. And I agree with you. I think Mexico had a successful tournament. I was impressed. I was impressed. They hung up there with I think they were last ranked the fourth best team in the world, England. So they hung in there. They played well. They could have won that game. But you're right. Mistakes cost you. Mistakes cost you. The penalty was bad. That was a bad. You can't give that up. When you get the penalty back, that doesn't happen. It's a tie. You know. And I think earlier in the game too, you got to be more on your toes. You got to be aware. England's pressing you now. Okay, you can't give up 2 goals in 60 seconds. Like that's going to cost you at the end of the day, and it's the truth. But look, Mexico had a good tournament. Um, I'm going to be honest. Out of the three teams in the round of 16, they played the best game. If you want to compare Canada, U.S., and Mexico, I mean, Mexico absolutely played the best game. And if anyone had a deserved to win, it was them. And so I think the future's bright. I think 2030 is going to be good. Mora, what is he? 17 years old? Is that his age?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna be.
yeah,
He'll be even better then. He'll be older. He has the experience under his belt now. And there's talent. There's talent on this team, and they're gonna be able to compete in 2030. So I think there's a lot to look forward to. Shifting to the U.S. game last night. That was as poor of a performance as I've seen. And when you think about it, and this is not even something I thought about. That was the first real team the U.S. had played, right? You had a cupcake group, right? I mean, obviously Paraguay, you want to say they beat Germany and Penn, sure, but they played Paraguay, they played Australia, and they played Turkey,
Turkey.
right? Who they lost to, but again, they played a bunch of their bench guys, and Turkey had nothing to lose, so they were going to go out there and play. USA didn't care about the game, but that was their first real game against Belgium, and they kind of proved to us that this is who they are, right? This is what they've always been. The U.S. can beat teams that are not in Europe. They can beat the lower level European teams like Bosnia, and they can have success. But when it comes to these bigger teams, right, these bigger fish, these top 10 European nations, they can't get the job done. And that was a really poor performance. And look, you want to say Pulisic got hurt? He looked awful even before he got hurt. Turned the ball over several times, and they looked just completely hopeless on the field. And then you want to talk about, Matt Freeze coming out and not clearing the ball. I have no idea what he's doing. Instead of just kicking it away, he's putzing around with it, and then they just put the ball on Tim Ream. If it could get any more embarrassing, he does not put a good shot on goal, and Tim Ream can't even keep it out. So that was a horrible game, an absolutely horrible game, and a terrible way to go out in the World Cup. And I don't know, man. Whenever you think that there's hope for the U.S. side, that they can become one of the better soccer nations in the world, there's something like this happens. And again, you lost to Belgium 5-2 in March. You lost them 4-1 yesterday. The same result. The same result. And people before the game said they were different teams. Well, it doesn't look like it. So what were your takeaways on the USA game? Like, is there success in this? Because they've done this before. They've been to the round of 16. It's the same old story. Like, is there any success to take away, or is it simply a disappointment that they're not able to move on?
I mean, everything good that the United States did before this game went away after this loss. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people had the United States winning this game, and I mean,
Yeah.
they had the home field advantage. They
Yep.
were playing well. Belgium hadn't played well. I mean, like everything was,
Yep.
they had everything in their, and Balogun's suspension was overturned. So like they had everything in their hands to win this game, absolutely everything. And they
Yep.
instead of taking that chance, they absolutely blew it,
Yep.
and they played one, in my opinion, one of the worst games I've ever seen the United States play. I mean, they look scared, absolutely scared. I mean,
100%. Hundred
three
percent.
of the four goals were mistakes. Three of the four goals. And I mean, like
Yeah.
first goal, the ball's in the air, five guys in the box. No one goes to
No one
get it.
goes.
No one does. I don't get it. Like, go get the ball. Like you don't, it's like, I was taught this in soccer. And when I was a player,
Yep.
you don't, a ball that doesn't get touched is a hospital ball. Like, that was a hospital ball. You have to go get the ball. You don't stand there and look and wait for it. You go get the ball. And that's
Yep.
what they didn't do. Belgium gets it, goal. First, then second goal, good run of play. But third goal, Matt Freeze, what are you doing? What are you
Kick
abs
it
doing?
away.
Like,
Just kick it
just kick
away.
it away. Who cares if it goes out of bounds? Just kick it away. Don't get too greedy. Just kick the ball away, and that's it. Like, the best thing you could do is kick the ball away, give the give the throw in to Belgium, and that's it.
Yep.
Instead of getting cute. And then on the fourth
Yep.
goal, mistake, give the ball away. Romelu Lukaku takes advantage of his physicality. Goal 4-1, embarrassment. I mean, the United States played scared. They played
Yep.
awful, and now you have to be wondering. Pochettino's contract expired at the end of this tournament, and now the question is, do you want to bring him back? Honestly, I don't think he should come back. You brought Pochettino's a good coach. I'm not saying he's not a good one, but you're paying too much money to him to be just average, because you brought in Pochettino to bring you to the next level, and he hasn't done that. Pochettino was brought in to get you to quarterfinals, semifinals, to take you to the next level, and he hasn't done that. And now you're going to probably ask for more money. And do you, as if you're in the United States Federation, are you willing to pay the guy more money just to keep taking you to where you were with Greg Berhalter and the other Jurgen Klinsmann and just the other coaches of the United States? Like, do you want to be paying him that much money, more money, to be average? And that's a question that the United States Federation has to answer. I don't know if I want to pay the guy more. And honestly, other teams want him. So, like, Are you willing to let him go? Honestly, if I'm in the United States, I would not hate the idea to restart with another coach.
Look, I understand. I understand that side of things. I think I would bring him back. I think so. I think the reason I would is because if you watch the U.S. in the past, and especially at the last World Cup, there wasn't even a sense of that they had a chance, right? They just felt like they never had a chance. They played okay, but like it just the way they were playing, it never gave you hope that they could do something spectacular. And they gave us that hope this tournament. I think they had some really good games. They played well. And they got players like Balogun to play out of their minds. And across the board, I think the team got better talent wise and in terms of tactically, and they were competing. Now the Belgium game's a horrible game. Like, don't even get me wrong. That's terrible. And obviously, like that, you can't have that happen if you're the coach. You can't go down 4-1, and your team can't make those kind of mistakes. Like that's coaching part of it too. You cannot have that happen against a team like Belgium. But I think maybe you go one more cycle here with Pochettino, and maybe you don't go to the next World Cup with him, but maybe you keep him around on a 2-year deal, and you let him go to the next Copa Americas, and see what you can do, and see if there is growth. Right? Again, it takes time. It takes time for coaches to find their footing. And look, I'm not a big fan of all these coaches leaving their teams after the World Cup because it's hard for me to say, oh, a new coach would have made the difference when again, the World Cup, your draw matters. Your draw matters. Like, for example, let's put Mexico and Argentina spot. You play Cape Verde. Do you think you can win that game? Probably, right? You probably have a good chance of winning that game. Okay. Then you put them against Egypt. Does Mexico beat Egypt? Would you give them a good chance? Probably.
Have
So,
to.
right? So, okay. So, in that case, if Mexico had beaten Cape Verde and beaten Egypt and then got to a quarterfinal against Colombia, would you give Mexico a chance to beat Colombia?
I would, but I honestly think Colombia would pull it out in the end.
But you have a good chance. So again, your draw matters. Your draw matters. So for me, again, if you put the U.S. in the thing, same thing. You put them against Cape Verde, they have a chance. You put them against Egypt, they probably beat Egypt, right? So your draw matters, and this happens across the board. And so you can't. It's hard for me to say, oh, you change the manager, it makes a difference when you're playing good teams. When you're playing good teams, it's the same thing with Portugal. It's the same thing with the U.S. You played Belgium. Belgium's a good squad. It happens. It happens. So for me, I think it's the wrong decision to just say we're done with Pochettino. Let's move on. Let's find a new manager with new tactics and new mindset, and he'll lead the team in a different way. Because you just ran into a team that was better than you. You just ran into a team that was better than you, and it's just the truth. So it's hard for me to say again. You need to change your manager when this is the path to ruin. And they weren't going to beat Spain regardless. They were not going to beat Spain. So I don't know. I don't like the whole turnover thing. And maybe I'm wrong, but what are your thoughts on that?
I understand where you're coming from. I really do. But the thing is, like, I think we expected the United States to take that next level, and they didn't do it. And I think, like, keep forgetting Belgium was a very, very vulnerable team. They got very prior to to last night. They got very lucky to
Yeah,
get here.
yeah,
Tied against Iran, Egypt, beat a New Zealand team that, in my opinion, was very poor, and then needed
yep,
a miracle against Senegal to get to the
yep,
round of 16. Like, I think, like, we need to understand the moment. Everything the United States needed was in their hands, absolutely everything,
yep.
and they gave us
That's
one of
true.
the worst showings in ever. So, like, I think
Yep,
that's where I think coaching comes in. Like, what you might say that the Balogun thing might have affected the team or not. Like, that's another discussion to talk about, but like,
yep,
if you're a manager, like, if you know that you have everything, all the cards in your hand, ready, you have all the
yep.
momentum. Like, you have to prepare your team. And yesterday, the team did not look prepared. They
I agree.
looked lifeless. They looked
Yep,
scared. Like, they were awful. And that's
yep,
all in the managing. And then I
yep,
think that's what I'm trying to get to. Pochettino was brought in to take you to at least the quarterfinals
yep,
or semifinals of the World Cup, and he didn't do it. And that's
yep,
where I think that's why I'm think my opinion is that I don't think you should bring him back because he's gonna want more money, and a lot of teams want him, so he's gonna add. So and a lot of teams are gonna want him. So, like, are you willing to make the sacrifice to give him more money just to keep you to not give you that to take you to the next level? So that's why I honestly think I wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt for the United States to restart again because you don't have to pay the guy more money, and honestly, like, you could actually develop players with a guy like an American coach. So, like, honestly, and let's not forget, Pochettino is Argentinian. We're one new coaches. when do national teams get better? When they have a coach that is the same nationality. That's when the national teams are the best. We saw Leo Scaloni, best example. He is Argentinian. Doesn't have much coaching experience. Didn't have much coaching experience outside of the national team. What does he do? He goes in and wins the Argentina World Cup and makes the Argentina team look unstoppable. That's when teams in national teams look their best, when they have a coach that is the same nationality. And that's what I think the United States needs. They need a coach that they can rally around with the same nationality.
Well, I do agree with that. And a lot of teams don't win the World Cup with a coach from a different, from a different country. But again, you look at Greg Berhalter, and that was a disaster.
Oh, he was a
So
horrible coach, but he was a
I
horrible
know, I
coach from the
agree.
beginning.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I thought he was terrible too. But look, I think just if they move on from Pochettino, I'm not going to blame them. I think, especially after the way they lost, if they lost a game that was close with Belgium, then I think maybe it's different. But look, either way, I think it wouldn't be wrong to give him a little bit more time. And I can also see the argument, oh, it's time to move on and find somebody else. But we'll see ultimately. But yeah, I was very disappointed. Not the sort of game you
But
wanted to see from the U.S.
I have to give a lot of credit to Belgium because
Oh, for
Louis
sure, for sure.
Garcia
Press
made
the right
some
buttons.
pressed the
Yep,
right button and made some difficult decisions that paid off.
for sure, for
He
sure.
put all his stars on the bench.
De Bruyne
Lukaku,
didn't even play.
De Bruyne didn't even play.
Yeah.
Doku, like he
Yep.
made big decisions and they paid off. And you have to give him a lot of credit because he knew
Yep.
going into that game that the 4 games he had with Belgium were not working. That the team wasn't working. And then in
Yep.
Senegal, he clicked the right buttons and it worked out. And he said, you
Yep.
know what? I have to go with the same buttons that I did when I made those subs against Senegal because
Yep.
so huge props to Belgium. They look like a great team now, and I
Yep.
think they have a good shot against Spain. But honestly, we'll get to that later. But I
Yeah.
think Belgium has a good shot now.
Yeah, it's funny. I think Rudy Garcia probably would have been sacked if they had lost that game to the U.S. So he made some really big decisions, and it worked out. And I was shocked when I saw the lineup. I'm like, man, what are you doing? What are you doing in this knockout stage? Not playing De Bruyne, benching Lukaku, benching Doku. Like, what are you thinking? And it worked out perfectly. It absolutely worked out perfectly, and the game was over by the time those guys came in. So again, I'm gonna say that incredible, incredible managing, and I think it. Now if they don't beat Spain, it's not the end of the world because they're not expected to beat Spain in the first place. Lastly, we'll talk briefly about Canada before moving on here. I have less to say about this game because, quite frankly, I knew it was going to happen. I knew Morocco was going to go in there and win. Morocco's the better team. Canada, honestly, you talk about Morocco. Morocco's first half was probably the worst half they played all tournament. I thought they looked terrible. And
Mhm.
Canada did not get a goal. They didn't get a single goal to show for it. And once that happened, you knew Morocco was going to come out in the second half and play better. And wasn't going to be as bad as the first half. And Canada just fell back on their back foot. And they had absolutely no chance to win the game. So I guess let's connect this to the next game because Morocco, obviously, Canada wasn't much of a test. A little bit about the quarterfinal though. Now Morocco goes to play France, and that is going to be a great game, at least in my eyes. I think that's going to be competitive. Do you give Morocco any chance to win that game?
I do. I definitely do because they've been playing really good soccer. I mean, unlike Paraguay, they do not play good soccer. So they're not going to beat Paraguay. They're actually going to take the game to France because they know they have the talent. They know
Yep.
they have the quality on the field to go take the
Yep.
game to France.
Yep.
They'll have to play a perfect game, but they know they have a shot if they
For
play
sure.
if they play their brand of soccer and their style. If they do that, they
For
have a
sure.
shot. But they have to be
For
play.
sure.
They have to play perfectly, and also like losing Salibari is gonna hurt them a lot because he
Yeah.
was the best player
Is he out for
for
the
more.
next game? I didn't see that.
I think so, but even if even if he's there, he's not probably gonna not gonna be 100%, and he's gonna have to face a very tough France back line. So
Yeah.
my opinion is like losing him is gonna hurt, but you know what? I still give Morocco a good shot because
Yeah.
they have a
For
lot of
sure.
quality on the field. They have the best right back in the world in
Yeah.
Hakimi. Raheem Diaz can show up any moment, bring quality to the midfield. So like
Fantastic. That guy's playing unbelievably.
yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. They have to play a perfect game. Let me make that clear.
Yeah.
France is the best
Yep.
team in this World Cup. But
Yep.
if they find a way to play the perfect game,
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, Morocco has a really good shot to pulling off the upset.
Yeah, I agree. Morocco's dangerous. We saw this last World Cup when they beat Portugal. Morocco is dangerous, especially if you don't score. And Morocco is a rematch of last World Cup. France got the better of them. But Morocco, again, when you're talking about teams who can definitely take it to anybody, it's Morocco. Like, they will play tough. As long as they don't turn it over like they did against Canada, they can possess a little bit and they're not playing on their back foot the whole game. They they easily have a chance. Easily have a chance to make it competitive, and it would not be a surprise if they were to pull off the upset. But you're right. France is the favorite. France should win this game. France should be in the semis and probably against Spain. And they should be in the final because France right now just looks dominant. And real quick before we move on, France deserves some flowers because that game against Paraguay might have been the dirtiest game I've ever watched in my entire life. And I'm not when I say this, I'm not kidding. That was officiating malpractice. Not a single yellow card. Not a single yellow card on Paraguay all game. What are you watching? You have all the officials on the sideline doing the offsides. You're in the middle of the field. You're telling me nobody sees any of these cheap shots. Mbappe is running down the middle of the field, and you have a guy throwing an elbow at him and hitting him in the face. Then there's one on Kunde. Then they're all over the place. They're all over the place. The whole game was cheap shots. The whole game, and you didn't call a single yellow, and that's terrible because if someone had gotten hurt, and you didn't set the tone early, it would have been a disaster. It would have been a disaster, and they were mentally tough. France didn't let them get under their skin. They played tough the whole game, and at the end, they let the goal do the talking. Mbappe scored, and even at the end of the game, you saw them going into Mbappe, trying to bump into him and talk to him. And Mbappe's just laughing because he knows you guys aren't here to play soccer. You guys, you're here just to make us mad and try to get us to do something stupid so we get eliminated. But they didn't do it, and I have a ton of respect for France because if it was me, dude, I don't know how a fist fight didn't break out on that field. The amount of cheap shots I saw. I mean, it was the worst game of soccer I've ever watched, and it's disgusting. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. What were your thoughts? Did you watch that game?
I did, and I have to say, Paraguay is a disgrace to soccer because they absolutely played a brand of soccer that is not even soccer. They
Yeah,
didn't create any chances. They just wanted to get into the heads of France,
literally,
piss
literally.
them off, and then just absolutely just go and take the game to penalties and park the bus. They absolutely played the biggest parking the bus I ever seen in my life. They didn't take the game to France, and that's what really bothered me. I understand you don't have the quality, you don't have the talent on the field, but for God's sakes, if you're going to get eliminated, do
Yeah,
it with some respect. Like
thank you.
don't don't try to injure players. Don't try to get into their skin. Like play soccer for God's sakes. Like take
Yeah,
the game to your opponent. Like do not
yeah,
get into their heads. Like that's why I really was bothered by Paraguay because they didn't take the game
yeah,
to France. All they wanted to do was literally take it to pens and get into their heads and do all that. Like for God's sakes, if you're going to get eliminated, do it with pride, do it with respect. Like, don't do what you did. Don't do what Paraguay did, please. So that's why I'm begging Morocco.
yeah,
I know you might not have the quality, you might not have the talent on the field, but I'm telling you, please, Morocco, take the game to France because you never know. If you
yeah,
play the perfect game, you could actually have a shot against France. So
yeah.
do not do what Paraguay do. I even say
No,
that to every freaking national team in the world. Do not do what
yeah,
Paraguay did because that is
yeah,
just embarrassing. Absolutely
yeah,
embarrassing. But
yeah,
back to France. Gotta give them a lot of credit. They showed a lot of mental toughness because I agree with
for
you.
sure.
I'm surprised that it wasn't a fist fight on that field. And I don't know
No,
why the ref. I don't know why. I don't know why. If I was a player on France, I would have literally gone tackle the ref because
a hundred
how do you
percent.
not give a single yellow card to the freaking Paraguay? They were the dirtiest team on the field, and it's not even close. And
I don't
yet
know
you don't
how.
give a single yellow card, not one.
Terrible.
It's like you have the conspiracy theory that he had money on Paraguay.
Bro, it's like Stevie Wonder was officiating that game. I honestly, he might have been blind, bro. I have no idea how he didn't see any of it. And how do you not one card, not one in 90 minutes, not a single card, and there were at least 10 plays that could have been yellow cards. I was shocked. I was shocked, and you're right. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. And at some points in the game, it felt like there wasn't even a soccer ball on the field. Like there are people way back in the play, and there's people throwing arms and punches and stuff, and I'm like when is this gonna stop? Like, there's just no way that the ref can let this happen the whole game, and it happened the whole game. I was shocked that this game unraveled the way it did because it should not have been this way. The ref should have taken it into his hands, carded some players, and let them know this wasn't gonna happen. And again, they had no interest in winning that game. No interest. They wanted to get to penalty 0-0, and they would have taken their chances. But that's just no way to play. And Morocco's not going to do that. Morocco has too much respect. Morocco's a good side. They're going to go out there and they're going to give them their best shot. They will not be a replay of that game because that, man, if I have to watch another 90 minutes of that, it's like you're watching a boxing match. Like I honestly, I just It wasn't even soccer. It wasn't even soccer. It's like at the World Cup too, like in front of all these people. That's how you're gonna go out and play. That's how you're gonna go out and play. Like terrible. And look, honestly, it looked like a bunch of Draymond Greens in Paraguay jerseys. Honestly, that's what it looked like. That's what it looked
Great,
like. I,
great comparison.
it literally, that's what it looked like. Like no interest in anything but trying to pick a fight and beat somebody up. That's what it was. It was terrible. I really hated that game. I mean, it was awful. But props to France for sticking through it. Seriously.
And I mean,
Well,
France.
yeah. Go ahead.
And I mean, I feel bad for the fans. I mean, you paid a lot of money to go watch that game, and all you
Yeah,
see is horrible style of football. Like if I would, I
for
mean,
sure.
I would be begging Paraguay to give me my money back.
Literally terrible. Just terrible, bro. Terrible. Um. Anyways, on that side of things, I think would you say it's fair we're expecting Spain, France in the semis?
Yeah, I think Spain beats
I agree.
Belgium. I think Belgium clicked the right buttons, but I just don't think it's going to work against
No.
Spain because I think Spain has been playing
Yeah,
much better, and I
I
think we
agree.
learned. I think we learned against Portugal. They have a lot of mental toughness. Like they could
I
have
agree.
easily gone down against Portugal, but they kept fighting, and the coach
Agreed.
pushed the right buttons. He put Marino in, he put Ferran Torres, and they paid off, and
Yep.
that's why they are in the quarterfinals, and Portugal is home. So I think
Agreed.
Spain should have beat Belgium.
I agree. I agree. I think it should be France, Spain on that side of things. Real quick, on the other side, we have Norway and um, England in the first quarter, and then you have obviously today Argentina, Egypt, and Colombia and Switzerland. Real quick, we gotta talk about Argentina because they're Argentina and they got Messi, so you gotta talk about them. It's the truth. So real quick, that's actually at 12. That's in 2 hours from now. What are your expectations for this game? Is Argentina going to take care of business as they should, or do you think Egypt can put a scare in them like Cape Verde did? Like, is there any chance for an upset, or do you think Argentina, is probably going to handle this the way they should?
I'm going to make it clear right now. Argentina should take care of business. They should. They should not. This should not be a game. Argentina
Yeah.
should destroy them. But you know what's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
Argentina's gonna win, but Egypt's gonna make life difficult for them. We saw this happen in the World Cup 4 years ago. Australia gave them a battle for their lives. They didn't play. Australia didn't even play well, and Australia almost tied that game. And I feel we're gonna see today the same thing. I think Argentina's gonna get the job done, but I think they're gonna struggle a lot. And I think Egypt's gonna depend a lot on their physicality, on trying to out tire Argentina, just like Cap Verde did, because that's what African teams do. They try to depend on physicality, out tiring their opponents, and
Yeah.
that's what they're gonna do. Because I think we learned in that Cap Verde game that Argentina's vulnerability is going up against a team that is very fast paced and
Yeah.
very, very physical. And honestly, I think Egypt has all those elements. Am I saying Egypt's going to win the game? No, they're not going to win the game, but I think they can make life difficult for Argentina. Argentina gets the job done, but I think Egypt makes this game very interesting.
Look, I think Egypt will keep it relatively close, especially after what Cape Verde did. I think the one key for Egypt is you want to get off to a fast start. If there's any way you can get on the board early, if you can somehow get a goal and play from in front, because the one thing with the Cape Verde game was, yeah, they kept it close. They had it tied a couple times, but they never had the lead. Right? Argentina was never playing from behind. They haven't played from behind this whole tournament. So I think for Egypt, if you can get a goal in the first half, if you can have some confidence, if you can take the lead, that changed the game, right? Because then Argentina is going to have to play fast. They're going to have to play a little bit pressured because again, they're the favorites to get out of this side. It's just the truth. Brazil's out. You leave England and Norway both susceptible. This is the team that's supposed to come out of the side. Egypt, you're playing with house money. You got nothing to lose. You got to come out. You got to play tough. Take care of the ball. Again, you don't want turnovers. The worst thing you can do against Argentina is give them counterattacks with Messi dribbling the ball up the field with options going wide. It just ends badly. It ends badly. So Egypt needs to take care of the ball, play physical, and like you said, make it a battle of attrition, right? Make Argentina struggle to win this game. Make them struggle, and I think they'll do that. I think they'll do that. Egypt has too much heart, but I agree. I think Argentina is probably going to squeak by, and I think they'll win this game and probably set up a matchup with Colombia. But we'll
And
see. I'm excited.
And I was going to say last thing. I think I heard rumors yesterday that Scaloni is going to make changes after that Cap Verde game. And what's probably going to happen is we're going to see Julian Alvarez start over Lautaro Martinez, and we're probably going to see him make some changes to the defense. And I honestly think that's going to make Argentina much more better and dangerous because I think Julian Alvarez should be starting over Lautaro
I
Martinez
agree.
because I think he has
I
more
agree.
chemistry with
Yep.
him with Messi than Lautaro Martinez has with Messi. So honestly, I think these changes are going to pay off a lot for Argentina, and we're gonna see a much better Argentina team as the tournament goes on.
You better hope so. You better hope so because Argentina should win this game. There's no doubt they should win this game. They are the favorites to win it. So they have to. They just have to. And if they don't, I think there's gonna be a lot of questions, but we won't even get there because Argentina will find a way. I don't know how, but typically they've had some good luck these last couple tournaments. So somewhere or another, they're gonna make it happen. I'm rooting hard for Egypt though. Listen, you talk about Egypt, like they haven't gone down easy this tournament, right? They tied Belgium. Um, they've played well. They've played well, and I want to see a Mo Salah game. Like, give me an iconic game. Like, give me a goal. Give me a nice golazo. Like, give me something to cheer about. Right? Let me see it. Or Marmouche. Like, somebody do something to get the fans into it. Argentina's gonna have a ton of fans there. They always do. But you gotta flip this game on its side quickly. And I do believe if Argentina takes an early lead, I think that'll be. I don't think Egypt is going to be able to come back the same way Cape Verde did because Cape Verde had a ton of belief. Cape Verde had a ton of belief. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I think we'll see what happens. Real quick, we have a couple minutes here. I want to get your thoughts on this Golden Boot race. Man, like what a race it's been with Messi and Mbappe and Holland and even Harry Kane and even Dembele is not even out of it. If Dembele somehow has a big game against Morocco, so who do you think wins it ultimately? Like, and I think this also goes to say who's going to win the tournament because you have to be in this the whole way if you're going to try and win it, especially with these guys. Who do you think ends up squeaking it out? Obviously, Mbappe has 2 assists right now, so if he's tied with goals with Messi, it looks like he'll probably win it. But who do you have?
I hope Messi wins it again. I really do.
Of course you
But I
do.
think, but I think Mbappe wins it again, wins the Golden Boot. I think
Yeah,
this France. I think we've been talking about this France team all this time. How good they are. How the front three is the
yeah,
most dangerous front three you'll ever see in international soccer. And I think with the end of the day, he is the one who's going to benefit the most from it. I mean, Elise is the one distributing the ball to him, and Mbappe does what a goal scorer does. He gets the goal into the
yep,
nets. And I think that's what
yep,
we're going to keep seeing from this France team. We're going to
yep.
keep seeing Elise being the distributor, and Mbappe benefiting from them. So I honestly think Mbappe is going to be the leading goal scorer in this tournament. And I mean, I think France goes to wins this World Cup, and that's why I think at the end of the day he will be the Golden Boot winner. The only two teams that could actually give France any sort of fight or beat them is Spain and Argentina. Those are the only two teams. But and I honestly do think
Yeah,
Spain could beat them, but but from what I've seen the entire tournament, you have to give the edge to France if it's
yeah.
Spain against France in the semifinal.
Yeah. I honestly thought it's funny you say that. Like, I thought Portugal had more talent. Like in terms of individual players, I think Portugal is more talented than Spain is. But again, if you watch the game, it's just clear. Spain plays tactically well. They're technical. They don't turn the ball over. And again, they break you down. It's sort of, and they said this on the broadcast. It's sort of like, death by 1,000 punches, right? Like it just slowly, they break you down throughout a whole game. And if they can do that against France, then you have to give them a chance. I think you have to give them a chance. But I think France is the most talented side left. And if they play up to how they're supposed to play, I don't see anybody being able to beat them. But they have tough. Now it gets tough for them because you have Morocco, then probably Spain, and then Argentina probably because of their path, or England or Norway. Honestly, you don't know at this point. But it's only, I think these next 2 games are going to be as hard as any. So we'll see if France can pull it out. With that
Uh,
being said, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, are we gonna talk about Norway against England?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we have a couple minutes here. Let's do it. I was gonna get just straight to the trivia question, but let's do it. What are your thoughts on that game? I'm excited. I think that's gonna be blockbuster for sure.
I mean, I think that's the game of the round of the quarterfinals, even if it's
For
Argentina
sure.
Colombia, because
Yeah.
Norway we've been talking about this entire tournament. They're a dark
Yeah.
horse. If Holland
Yep.
does what he does and Norway plays around and Norway plays up to the level they've been playing the entire tournament,
Yep.
they can go make a run, and they've done that
Hundred
right now.
percent.
And
Yep.
right now England is coming off probably the most arguably their most mentally tough and most
Yep.
difficult game they've played in this entire World Cup. They're going to
Yep.
get better from it. I can't deny it, but I can't root bad against. I can't go against Norway right now. Like they've been playing really well. They've been
Yeah.
surprising us. They beat a Brazil team that honestly was really
Yeah.
good and then honestly had the managing advantage. And you know what
Yep.
happened? Brazil took had their chances, but they didn't take advantage. But you know what happened? Holland only had 2 chances, and he took advantage of them.
Yep.
And that's what I
Yeah.
think makes Norway a very, very strong team. You give Holland
Yep.
one chance, two chances, three chances. Just give him one chance,
Yep.
and he will be burying it back in the net. So that's what I think
Yep.
England has to be very careful with. You give Holland one
Yep.
chance, and he'll make you pay for it. So that's why,
Yeah.
honestly, I have to say this: England might have the better team, but I think Norway pulls off the upset. I think this Norway team has a lot of vibes running with them.
Yeah.
They have a lot of momentum.
Yep.
England is coming off a very, very emotional and tough game against Mexico. I
Yep.
think Norway gets it done and gets to the semifinals.
That would be incredible. What a run for Norway! If that was the but you're right. I think there's something special around this Norway squad with this with the row and with Holland obviously scoring every time he touches the ball. It feels like and Odegaard and they're just playing with belief right now. Norway is playing with belief, and I think you're right. England coming off such a draining game physically and mentally. Like how do you bounce back from that against a team who is good? Like let's not pretend Norway is not good. Are they a top 5, 6 team in the world? No. Right now they're playing in form and you cannot count on Norway. And I think you're right. Like I would not be surprised if Norway somehow pulled this game out. And I'm excited. And there's so many great matchups. Like you're talking about France, Morocco. I'm excited for that game. Then you have Spain, Belgium. Then you have Norway, England, and now it's probably going to be Argentina, Colombia. Like just 4 great quarter-final matchups, and I'm excited. I think whatever we get, however it shapes out, you're going to get some great semis, and it's just going to be again. We're talking about one of the greatest World Cups ever in terms of entertainment, just pure entertainment. It's gonna be incredible. And I don't hate your pick. I don't hate your pick. Maybe Holland scores a hat trick and ends England's dreams early. But again, I will say this: that game for England was a lot about mental toughness, and it was a lot about like getting the monkey off their back. Right? Again, very few teams have gone to the Azteca and beat Mexico. They did it. They did it. And so I think England has confidence right now. And I don't know if you saw this. Did you see after the game they were doing the celebrations in the locker room and John Stones was pretending like his shoulder was hurt? And did you see
Yeah,
that? That
yeah,
was
I did see
hilarious.
that.
I could not stop laughing. I was like, dude, Thomas Tuchel was so scared that he got hurt. But I was
Yeah,
like, England just has good vibes. And with the Wonder Wall, like I'm loving the celebrations. I'm loving the vibes right now. And what a tournament. What a tournament. And I'm hoping for a good final. I hope it's honestly because I'm a hater, I don't want to see Messi in the final again. I want to see France. I would love to see France and Norway. Because you know why? Norway benched all of their starters in that game against
yeah,
France. And if
yeah. I
they
think
go
that would.
France Norway, oh man, dude, from Mbappe Holland, like the new generation, like it's done with the old generation. It's the new generation. Oh man, that'd be incredible. I don't think we're gonna get it with Norway, but it would be incredible. But moving
Yeah.
on, trivia question of the day, Fernando. Here we go. You've been on a roll lately. You've been on a roll. This might be a little bit more difficult. We'll find out. But
All
here we
right.
go. Keene on Sports trivia question of the day. Fernando, your question is: who is the USA's all-time leading World Cup goal scorer? And you know what? I'll give you a bonus point if you can tell me with how many goals, who it is, and then how many goals they scored in the World Cup.
Oh, I'm between two
Talk,
guys.
talk, talk me through it. Talk me through your thought process. Talk me through it.
I'm between two guys.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the legends right now. I'm thinking about who I've been watching a lot.
Yep.
With the United States through my entire time watching the World Cup, and
Who are the two? Who are the two?
I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking Landon Donovan or Clint Dempsey.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go with. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go Landon Donovan.
That is correct. Well done. Well done. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well done. How many goals though? How many goals has he scored in World Cups?
I'm going to say 52.
I think you misheard the question. How many goals has he scored in World Cup tournaments?
Oh,
Total in his
sorry,
career.
sorry. Oh,
I
sorry. I thought you meant like in his entire career.
no,
Sorry,
no, no.
sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I'm gonna say 7.
Ah, so close. It was 5. It was 5. But you got Landon Donovan. That was the question. Well done. Well done. Round of applause. Round of applause. You're back. I think you're 4-2 on the trivia questions of the day. I gotta make it harder. This is too easy. I'm gonna have to
Hey, I
bring
know
you some
my World
easy
Cup.
next time.
I know my World Cup history.
Yeah, once this World Cup's over, I'm gonna have to start getting you some more harder trivia on the NBA and stuff. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But right now, listen, you're a
It probably
sucker.
got me there.
Anyways, listen, Fernando, thanks for joining me. I needed this. I needed to talk about Portugal and Ronaldo because they just broke my heart. They broke my heart, and I'm flexing the jersey today. I got a rocket. That's my guy. I have to. Thank you all for joining in and watching the show. Please like and subscribe. Follow the Instagram. Follow the X, like and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you next time. Keep enjoying Wimbledon. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that today, but we will talk about it next time. Some great matchups. Djokovic going for number 25. We'll see. I hate him. I don't want him to get it, but we'll see. But yeah, no, Fernando, thanks for joining me, and we'll have you on again. And thank you all for joining in.
Thank you, buddy.